right. This is the Virgin podcast on YouTube Live for Streams of Light. I'm Chris Anthony. It's so good to be here on Thanksgiving Day 2020. I don't know about you, but it's been a crazy year. But at the same time, I've realized the last few days how important gratitude is. Man, we need to be thankful and grateful for everything we've got, every gift. And so there's something about gratitude and thankfulness that really transforms our state of being, how we're interpreting things, how we interface with other people. If you get up every day and you're thankful for life, that the sun's shining, for the health that you have, or your family, or your kids, or whatever it is, you just got to be thankful. You got to take everything in stride, because there's no getting out of life. While you're here, you got to make the best of it. So I had an interesting idea for the podcast today. I thought it'd be nice if we could have a little call in. Hey, it's like the radio days, right? I thought it'd be nice to have a little call in. If anyone wants to share what they're thankful for, what they're grateful for, you could call and tell me. I'll put you on right now. You'll be live. You could tell your friends, hey, I'm about to be on a live stream right now, sharing my stories of gratitude and thankfulness for 2020. So I'm going to give you that number in a minute. I wanted to start with, I'm a reader. I love reading. I love literature, great authors. And I wanted to come up with something that would be inspiring for everybody as far as a quote. And those are hard to find. I read through quite a few, and some of them were a little negative, like if you don't have anything to be thankful for, it's only your fault. I don't want any of that kind of stuff. That's not going to help. But I came across one quote that I did like, and I'm going to read it to you. It's by G.K. Chesterton. He said, "I would maintain that thanks are the highest form of thought, and that gratitude is happiness doubled by wonder." I love that, doubled by wonder. So here we are, Thanksgiving 2020. Are you at home or are you with family? Have you decided to hunker down and avoid the second peak of this whole thing, or are you just forget it, I'm over it? Give me a call and share with me what you're thankful for, what you're grateful for. I don't want to go too heavy into COVID or politics. That's not what this podcast is about. This podcast is about positivity. So you can give me a call at 858-367-3765. That's 858-367-3765. I'll give the number again in the case that you missed that or couldn't write it down. And we'll get someone on here and see what people think. What's going through your mind? What are you grateful for? Gratitude actually raises our energetic level. I read something this morning that was fascinating. And, around the time of the holidays, we are all challenged with depression, because depression is a serious issue when it comes to the holidays. Probably because many of us don't have really good memories of our family life. Maybe mom and dad were troublesome or whatever it is. There could have been a lot of drinking or things that caused us to have some bad memories. And maybe even we have repeated some of that in our own lives. But I was thinking about, how do we get to this place of I hate to sound new agey, but I don't know how else to say it. You feel it when you're around people who are positive. You feel this uplifting sort of burden-free atmosphere. And so that is what we're after. That's what we would call a higher level existence. That's a state of being that actually, believe it or not, is more in your hands than you know. You have more ability to create your very disposition and your state of mind, state of being. For example, I remember a very tragic situation that happened in my family life. And there were a couple of us who, going through the same things, handled it completely different. And I began to ponder that. I thought, why does this person over here feel like this is the end of the world? And this person over here seems relatively fine. Well, it has to do with how do we perceive things? Perception is reality. So when we begin to reflect, so we're making a actual mental effort here to think about the things that we can be grateful for today. Like when I woke up today, I just thought, God, I am thankful for my health. I've had my share of health problems, but I woke up today, I don't have a fever. I'm moving relatively smoothly and free. And so I just began to think about all the things I could be grateful for. My health, the place I live in, my family, my friends. Is life perfect? No, but there's so much to be thankful for. So when you begin to focus on those things that you can be grateful for, it begins to propel you to a higher place. The yogis of the East had an interesting philosophy. They felt like the vortexes that are all along our body in a vertical line are places that we actually can dwell in as far as consciousness. So the top 3 vortexes are the ones that you want to be in. Those are the positive ones. And not that the other ones are bad necessarily, but for example, the root chakra, which is down below the sacral area, the tailbone area, that energy center is very, I don't want to say base, because it's good in the sense of, we need to survive. But if we live in that place, then we find the fight or flight, thing is happening in our body, and we are constantly having to deal with this on a physiological basis, because the fight or flight sort of leaves us in a bodily state of trouble. So anyways, I'm going to give you the number again if you want to call in and share something you're thankful for, grateful for. The number is 858-367-3765. 858-367-3765. Now, if you're watching this but not live, then I probably won't pick up. Okay, so okay. So other things to be grateful for. Actually the understanding that perception is reality. Understanding that how I perceive things is what paints the picture of the reality of my life. So, for example, I have a job change. Let's say I lost my job. If I lost my job, I could look at it one of 2 ways. I could look at it, firstly, that, oh, how could those people do that? They fired me. They don't appreciate me. Look at all the hard work I put in. But I could also look at this job loss as a challenge to, and really a gift, to pursue something I've always wanted to do. Maybe that job that I was in, maybe I would have never left were it left to me. Perhaps the loss of that job was just a little kick in the rear to get me off in the right direction so I could follow my dreams. So it's an interesting thought that perception is reality. And so that's something that I'm learning in my own life, especially in the last 2 years. I've learned a lot about how to not judge things and not look at it from a negative perspective, but also to focus on the positive things. So, okay. So this is a version run of the YouTube Live Streams of Light podcast. I wanted to get on and I wanted to test all my sound and even call-in functionality. At this point, we're going to wrap this up because I don't seem to have any new calls coming in. And so that's how it goes. But I'm looking at the positive side, and this was a good first run. Sound is working, and the mind is still thinking. Okay. Until next time. Streams of Light podcast. I'm Chris Anthony. We'll see you next time.